Seneca once gave us the idea that the only way to be truly happy is to enjoy the present without worrying about what will happen in the future. This idea isn't just about finding joy in the present, it's also about using the present to build respect, character, and inner strength. We are starting a journey to find these present strategies. Let's explore the depths of Stoic wisdom together and find the 7 psychological strategies that hold the key to a life of virtue and respect. The unsung tactics that can elevate our conduct, shape our character, and bring us into alignment with the respect we seek from others, as well as the respect we bestow upon ourselves. Get ready to learn how the past can affect the present and how the ideas of Stoicism can still affect our lives today. Before we start, I'd appreciate it if you like the video so that you can help me keep sharing the Stoic philosophy. If you are not already joined, I suggest that you do so and act immediately so that you don't miss any videos. Perception mastery. Stoics believe that what happens in life doesn't shape who we are, but the color of the glasses we choose to see those events through. This isn't about painting over the bad parts of life with a happy hue. It's about realizing that every event is like a raw stone. We can either see it as a rock or as the diamond it could become. For example, imagine giving a presentation at work. You've gone over the details and practiced your delivery. Do you see this as a personal disaster and an embarrassment that will define your career, or do you see it as a turning point that will show how flexible and able to communicate you are under pressure? By choosing the latter, you take a deep breath and maybe even make a joke about how unreliable technology is, which gets a knowing laugh from the room. Then you give your presentation without the slides, engaging more directly and more humanly. You're not ignominious. By using this strategy in different areas of your life, you build a reputation not as a person who never faces problems, but as one who stands strong in the face of them. This doesn't go unnoticed. It's this unspoken confidence, this mastery, that earns you respect. Adhere to this principle, and you will become a beacon of resilience, admired and trusted, not for the lack of problems in your life, but for the sheer tenacity and creativity with which you navigate them. This is the power of perception. In our journey through the lens of the Stoic, we arrive at a crossroads of control and choice, which is a Stoic tool that is just as important today as it was in the marble forms of ancient Greece. We cannot choose our external situations, but we can always choose how we react to them, according to the Stoic philosopher Epictetus. These words aren't just a call to action. They're also an invitation to freedom. To embrace control and choice is to understand that while the world spins on its own axis, we have the power to control how we react to it. Let's break this down with an example that many of us can relate to. You get negative feedback from your boss out of the blue. It's in this moment, this crucible of challenge, that the Stoic wise wisdom shines a light on your path. However, within you lies the incredible power to choose your reaction. You cannot control the feedback, nor can you change it. Stoicism asks us to choose differently than the reflex of reaction, which is defensiveness, a response, or inner turmoil. Perhaps in that moment you decide to truly listen. You allow each word to settle not as an accusation of failure, but as a guidepost for growth. You ask clarifying questions, you seek to understand, and then you make a choice to use this feedback as the raw material from which to sculpt a better, stronger version of your professional self. This choice is noticed by those around you, and you become the epitome of maturity and productivity. No one respects someone with a perfect record. They respect someone who can rise above their flaws and use them to make things better. When you apply this principle to greater aspects of life, it changes everything. You can't change the red lights or the speed of the cars in front of you, but you can control your growing anger. So you choose. You listen to a podcast, read an audiobook, or maybe use the time to think about your upcoming day. When you get there, your heart won't be racing from stress, but your mind will be full of ideas and ready to go. This is the power of choice. It's in these choices, the ones made quietly without fanfare, that respect is born. Remember what Epictetus said, control and choice are your natural Stoic powers. These are the quiet forces that can weather any storm, not through force, but through the sheer elegance of intention and will. This is what it means to live as a Stoic, and people who see you do it naturally respect you. Integrity and action are the third approach. Integrity and action are what keep Stoicism alive, giving life to the idea that virtue alone is enough to make you happy. For Stoics, virtue is not just an idea, it's a strong living force that shapes every part of their life. Honesty and action show up in both the everyday and the extraordinary choices that make up a life lived in line with reason and virtue. Don't just talk about your philosophy, live it. Epicus learned that one should show their values in every action and thought within the intricate in the business world. Integrity and action show up in many forms. For example, refusing to get involved in small talk or office politics. It's the employee who tells their boss about a conflict of interest, even if it means losing their job. It's the manager who gives credit where credit is due, even if they could easily take credit for their subordinate's work. In these situations, the Stoics' actions are guided by an internal compass. Caliber Stoics often have to go against what other people think or what will help them in the short term in order to live an honest life. This means making decisions that are in line with virtue, even if they are hard or put them in isolation or face criticism. Stoics know that being honest often means making sacrifices, but they're ready to do it because they value their own self-respect. Besides everything else, also integrity in action means being strong when things go wrong. It means sticking to your morals even when it seems like the whole world is against you. When cheating seems common and easy ways to get ahead seem appealing. The Stoic stays strong because they know, as Seneca wrote, that a person's worth is based on what they value. And for their unwavering dedication to honesty, they get respect. Respect that is earned, not forced, and respect that is felt, not faked. Respect shows how stable and unwavering a person's character is. In a world where people often think that the end justifies the means, the Stoics believe that the means are the end. Since integrity is both the way and the goal, it's not just a Stoic principle to talk about. It's a way of life to be lived. It goes beyond the pages of ancient books and becomes the rules that a Stoic follows to live their life. It's the purest form of respect. No one can ever hope to gain the respect that comes from a path lived in accordance with one's deepest beliefs and principles. Strategy number 4. Developing empathy. The ability to understand and share the feelings of another is not immediately recognized as a Stoic virtue, but the Stoics deeply understood the value of empathy as a means of connecting with the human community and practicing the virtue of justice. The path of empathy in Stoicism is the recognition that all people are flawed, capable of making mistakes, and deserving of understanding and compassion. Consider the leader who takes the time to understand the unique challenges faced by each team member. This leader is not merely managing but leading with empathy by demonstrating an awareness that each person's experience contributes to the fabric of the team. It is the entrepreneur who designs solutions not just for profit, but to address societal needs, knowing that their true value lies in the benefit they bring to others. It is the citizen who listens with an open mind to the viewpoints of others, recognizing that beneath different opinions and beliefs lie common fears and hopes. Stoicism teaches that empathy should be guided by wisdom. It is not about taking on other people's emotional burdens, but about providing the appropriate amount of support and understanding to build up resilience and growth. Seneca said, "There is an opportunity for kindness wherever there is a human being." It serves as a reminder that empathy is a resource that is available to us at all times and an action that presents itself in every contact by demonstrating empathy. Stoics, it's a testament to the recognition that while we may travel our own paths, we share the same road, under the same stars, and are made of the same stardust. Forge stronger connections and contribute to a society based on mutual respect and understanding. Thus, developing empathy is to notice the reflections of ourselves and others and act upon this path with kindness and justice. It's about broadening our circle of concern and ensuring that each act of empathy sows the seeds for a more compassionate and harmonious world. By aligning our actions with the Stoic ideal that the virtue of the individual and the virtue of the community are inextricably linked, strategy number 5, the elegance of simplicity, extols the virtue of simplicity as a path to a more fulfilling life. Being wealthy doesn't mean having lots of things, it means not wanting many things. Epictetus said that this counsel is not a call to austerity, but rather an invitation to find richness in the simple things and fulfillment in the essentials. When we embrace simplicity, we reject the clutter that so often takes over our physical and mental spaces. It's a choice to value quality over quantity and to seek experiences that enliven the soul rather than material possessions that fill our homes. Imagine applying this principle to daily life. For example, decluttering your workspace to create an environment where focus thrives in personal finance. Simplicity finds expression in the minimalist approach to life where every object is chosen with intention and every action is imbued with meaning. It could show up as a budget that puts events and well-being ahead of things. Building up in partnerships, the elegance of simplicity pushes us to focus on deeper connections with a smaller number of people rather than engaging in a lot of shallow interactions. What the Stoic finds their surroundings, as well as their actions and thoughts, are full of beauty and simplicity. Choosing to simplify life in order to cut through the noise and focus on what's important is a choice. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It's all in your way of thinking." This insight calls for a simplification of desires on the inside, as well as a foundation of contentment, self-sufficiency, and reason. Pick in the face of life's unavoidable changes, simplicity and stoicism are also a useful tool for fortitude. People who have lived a simple, direct, and unpretentious life are better able to carry their tranquility. To live simply is to get rid of the unnecessary so that the important can speak. It's to practice restraint in a world of excess and to find peace in a time of distraction. They are unaffected by external changes because their happiness is not tied to the unstable and the external, but to the stable and the internal. The elegance of simplicity is the art of getting to the heart of what brings you joy, clarity, and purpose. It's the Stoic realization that in life's tapestry, the most important threads are often those woven with the simplest patterns. To sum up, the elegance of simplicity is more than just a fashion statement. By cultivating simplicity, we not only streamline our external lives but also align our inner lives with Stoic wisdom, where the greatest treasures are those found within the depths of a contented heart. Strategy number 6 is the acceptance of serenity. Against the chaos of life's uncontrollable elements, acceptance's serenity serves as a Stoic wall. It is the recognition of our limited power to change external conditions and our complete power to change them. Accept the things that fate has bound you to. When a storm descends, the Stoic does not lament the rain, but rather reflects on the futility of such lamentations. Marcus Aurelius wrote that peace comes not from desire, but from conceding power where it cannot be exerted. This calm acceptance can change things. It's the doctor's cool demeanor when they do everything they can for a patient and then have to wait to see the outcome. It's the calm acceptance of an athlete who knows that some things, like the weather or their opponent's unexpected performance, were out of their control. These people show a mastery of acceptance that doesn't take away from their efforts but instead reinforces their fairness. They show us that while striving for excellence is within our control, the outcome is often not. He who is brave is free. Seneca tells us that a Stoic brave person is one who bravely accepts the limits of fate, freeing themselves from the pain of fighting the unchangeable acceptance. This kind of bravery also builds resilience. Even though the external world may be in disarray, the Stoic uses wisdom as a tool to maintain internal harmony. Tranquility to embrace life is to walk through life with a steady heart and a clear mind, understanding that while we cannot control the winds of fate, we can adjust our sails. By cultivating the serenity of acceptance, we anchor ourselves in the present, unaffected by the ripples of the unknown, and master the only domain that is entirely ours, to understand our inner selves. The plan Living Virtuously, number 7, the Stoic way of life revolves around living virtuously, which is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy's beliefs. The Stoics view virtue as a useful guide rather than a high ideal. To living well, it represents the 4 most important values: courage and wisdom, as Seneca so eloquently put it. Virtue is nothing but doing what is right. A good reason to live virtuously is to face life's challenges with a moral compass that always goes to the good.